Let's go deeper into these poll numbers with Chuck Todd, who's NBC's political director. Hi, Chuck. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Matt.
So we've got a 10% lead for Barack Obama in the latest poll. That's up from 6% just a couple of weeks ago. Do you have an indication, is this new strength for Barack Obama coming from John McCain supporters, or are these the undecideds that are now making up their mind?
Well, it's a little bit of both, but the shift, Matt, is really got to trouble the McCain folks because it comes from two demographic groups that were big strengths for him: independents and seniors, particularly older white voters. We're seeing a shift now, literally 20-point swings in both categories. Obama trailed him among independents the last poll, trailed him among seniors the last 2 or 3 polls, and this time it's pulled ahead. If we see that shift of seniors stay with Obama, that's the difference between this being a state-by-state battle for those 270 electoral votes and some sort of electoral landslide. If seniors move, that's Florida, that's Ohio, that's Indiana,
right.
That's all of those remaining toss-up
And
states.
as we look at perhaps reasons why voters seem to be becoming more comfortable with Barack Obama, temperament comes up, doesn't it?
It does. It was a fascinating question. We asked who's got the better temperament, and Obama didn't just win. He won by 20 points. That was an emphatic victory. You almost wonder if the entire 3 weeks of that economic crisis and how each of them reacted to it was almost a test for some voters. A lot of folks thought that this fall campaign was going to be about whether Obama would meet a threshold, a presidential threshold. He didn't have to be better than McCain on commander-in-chief issues. He didn't have to be more experienced.
Right.
He just had to meet certain levels. And it appears in our poll, you see comfort level now with the idea of a President Obama.
In the media, we made a big deal over former Secretary of State Colin Powell's endorsement of Barack Obama last weekend, and yet in the poll, 77% of the people polled said that really wouldn't make a difference in their choice. But apparently, although we like to say nobody votes for a vice president, apparently that is a difference for a lot of voters right now. What's the poll tell us?
She's become a bigger drag than Bush, and that is a big problem for Sarah Palin. She at least had likability on her side in our last poll. She no longer has that. Our one pollster thought really that the worst thing she could have done was show up on Saturday Night Live because she ended up playing into her caricature.
Yeah,
and almost hammering home the idea that she's a lightweight. It's the whole thing is coming apart.
And what we were watching there as you were talking, Chuck, a couple of important graphics. 34% of voters said it's their number one concern about John McCain, and that is that Sarah Palin is not qualified to be president. And then if you just take the question on its own and ask voters, is she qualified to be president right now? 55% said no, as compared to 40% yes. So based on the demographics you've just talked about, where does John McCain need to focus his attention in the remaining week and a half?
Well, he has to go back to seniors. He has to go back to independents. He's got to. I mean, the irony is the two groups that everybody thought would be his strength in the general election: older voters, particularly older white voters who would sit there and say, "Hey, I respect this guy. He's a military veteran. He's an American hero." And independents. This guy was Mr. Independent, and he's lost it. Matt, he shifted the entire fall campaign. Anytime he had a choice between the middle and the base, he always chose the base. Obama's been caught in the middle, and we have seen a big shift in the middle. It is all shifted toward Obama.
All right, Chuck Todd this morning. Chuck, thank you very much.